Hi. So today, after a very long time, I am back with a smashing review of a smashing series called Murder in Mind, streaming on JioCinema. This is basically a murder mystery which is intertwined with a theme to generate awareness and support for the LGBTQIA community. Among the cast, we have Vijay Raz, Ashutosh Rana, Rajesh Khattar, and Shivani Raghuvanshi. It's been a real delight to see a very sensitive portrayal of the LGBTQIA community. Having grown up on Bollywood movies, I can say for sure that to start with, the kind of portrayal of this community in Bollywood movies used to be very insensitive. They used to be reduced to caricatures, they used to be reduced to objects whom we are supposed to ridicule, people who do not have feelings, and people who should incite the feelings of fear and hatred in you. I strongly believe that cinema is a medium that inspires conversations around many topics all over the world. And for the average person who is not having either the access to intellectual discourse or the time to actually find out facts about certain topics, for example, homosexuality, for example, politics, for example, some historical events. For such people, cinema or a web series or a YouTube video or a short film can actually be educational. So whenever some brave people have taken it upon themselves and tried to paint an honest impression of members of the LGBTQIA community, the results have been impressive. Over here, I would like to cite some examples of such movies. One can always access them in today's day and age to educate yourself and your peers about these topics. Now coming back to Murder in Mind. So the main plot revolves around a series of murders which are started off by the murder of a gay sex worker. Now this murder takes place at the Mahim station, hence the name. Then we have several subplots, including the one of Vijay Raz, who's over here playing an honest police officer who by his own admission seems to have become incompetent in the recent years. He's often seen mistreating his corrupt father, whose act of corruption brought him a lot of shame. Because of his violent behavior, his own son tries to maintain distance from him. I found it absolutely amazing how layered and well written his particular subplot was. I mean, they tried to show to you that there has been a reason and there is an entire context behind the way he hates his father. Then he's also capable of introspecting and reforming. And he does make an effort to listen to his wife when she calls out his behavior. So from a loud, self-centered, judgmental person, he evolves into someone who is understanding, open to forgiving, and can also be gentle and compassionate. So these are the kind of stories that I like, in which you're not actually showing someone as totally white, totally black. You're trying to show us grey characters. You're trying to show us from where they are coming from and why they are the way they are. And also that they're capable of reforming. Another subplot revolves around Ashutosh Rana, who is also Vijay Raz's old-time buddy. So them had a fallout because of few reasons, but then it's nice to see the way they reconcile and then start to help each other again. The environment in Ashutosh Rana's family is starkly opposite to the one in Vijay's family. But in spite of that, we see a lot of hesitation when it comes to open communication between parents and their son. This was also something very real because yes, in many families, parents are actually not very close when it comes to communication with their children over important topics. So there's always kind of a barrier, and children tend to hide things from their parents and feel that whatever they have to say will not be received and will not be validated. I liked that it was portrayed that this barrier came down gradually, over a period of time. So probably a lot of individuals can see this happening on screen and then relate it to themselves. Then with Ashutosh Rana, we can see the way his attitude of fear and unacceptance towards the LGBTQIA community tends to transform over the 8-episode series. Shivani Raghuvanshi, whom I remember from a short film on YouTube and also from Made in Heaven, I think that she could have done a better job in this great role that she was given. But nevertheless, her track is also going to inspire a sensible approach to homosexuality. To Rajesh Khattar, I have seen him in few roles in Dawn and then on television. And I have to say, he has done brilliantly. He has balanced the act of being over the top yet very, very real in this particular role. I mean, you're not going to see him behave in a feminine way, you know, but you're also going to see that over the top side. But he's also someone who talks about the genuine plights of people belonging to the LGBTQIA community. So, a lot of the audience members and a lot of the characters in the series are actually going to view members of this community through the lens that Rajesh Khattar is holding. We also have a few other actors in the series who are portraying gay men. Most of them are part of a story that makes us think, what kind of lives are these people actually leading, in which they do not have the freedom to live on their own terms. You know, being a woman, for your own safety, you have to curtail your own freedom at times. For example, I would myself not go to a place at 11 in the night if I'm alone, you know. So this is just an example. Even if I want to go there, even if, let's say there's a very good concert happening, I really want to go there, but if I do not have company, I may not go there. So at the end of it, it's actually very sad that I have to curtail my freedom. This is just a very small example. There are many other examples faced by women, depending on their circumstances in life. So when I first became aware about members belonging to the LGBTQIA community, one of the first things that I used to think was that if I have a problem with having to curtail my freedom over little issues, and they tend to annoy me so much, then what about these people? And they actually do not have so many rights that they should be having, which I have, which I take for granted. People in heterosexual relationships do not have to think twice before going out with each other in public. They can hold hands. But people belonging to this community, if they are seen together, they may be subjected to judgment, ridicule, and even harassment, which used to happen a lot and still does in many parts of the country. This series is opening a portal of awareness for people who still, by their own admission, do not want these people to exist. Being a postgrad doctor, I interact with many other doctor colleagues, and I can tell you that there's still so much of hatred towards this community. Hatred, misunderstanding, invalidation. Battling with all of these, the struggles of this community has been immense. There is immense pressure on youngsters who are afraid of coming out to their family. There are people whose mental health is going for a toss just because they cannot share this huge part of their life with their parents, with their relatives, with their friends. And I can actually not understand that why and where is this hatred coming from. I mean, for example, to be gay is somebody's personal choice. It should not be something which is affecting your friendship with the person. It should not be something which should lead to any kind of professional malice towards another person. This is totally their personal life. Everybody is entitled to take decisions for themselves. And what a person is doing in his or her personal life should actually be none of our business. Unless, of course, it is impacting us and unless it is harming us, which in most of these cases is not the actual situation. So instead of consuming senseless Saas, bahu, banter and misogynistic content on television, it would be really nice if people switch over to OTT platforms and go for series which are actually going to educate you while entertaining you. Congratulations Team Murder and Mahim for an absolutely wonderful series. And everybody who is watching this video, do take out time to try this series on JioCinema. Especially boomers and millennials, please evolve, please evolve.